Down the rabbit hole of researching the concept art of Lysandra, I opened up a whole different world for myself. When it came to designing stuff, I searched the internet all over the place for concept art for League of Legends, because I wanted to find stuff that would relate to the logo from UKLC that would then still represent League of Legends. And in their design brief they talk about Lysandra, and it was like, it's got to be something similar to that. So I was like, okay, let's find some concept art of Lysandra, let's see what we can come up with. And some of the things that they've designed that are in the game are incredible, and the concept art is just absolutely stunning. So it has got Lysandra's kind of feel to it, which was probably the most challenging part of it. The logo's got to be the main subject, and the rocks are kind of secondary, but they still need to look like they're there doing their job. Make it look like it's erupting out of the ground. It was quite difficult to come up with ideas without overshadowing the logo itself. So, I mean, my first original ideas were to give it quite a chunky base, so you've got something to hold on to, and so when you win it, you hold it up. But the base then became the main feature, which is obviously not ideal when your logo is the main feature. So there's a lot of to and from, and then kind of coming up with what would look best. So another challenge we had was to make the base not look like it was a standalone piece, to make it look like it was coming up into the eruption itself. So it actually chamfers in, and then the rocks chamfer out, so it's kind of doing this V effect, if you like. So it does look like it's all one piece. The other challenge we had was to make sure that the rocks weren't too sharp, because obviously they're made out of metal. So we looked into sandblasting them to make them round off some of the edges, and then our lovely polishers who we work with managed to round off most of the sharp edges. So they still look like rocks, and they probably look more organic now that they've had the edges rounded off, so it's not so sharp. When they pick it up, they'll feel absolutely amazing. It was just so nice to see the concept design that I originally started with go through all those changes and then actually be made into physical metal. It was absolutely amazing, and I couldn't wait to pick it up just to test my strength, because it's massive. But I think we cracked it in the end.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, welcome to the UKLC. My name is Munchables. I'm joined by Orcs as we jump into the third and final day of the Gauntlet. And Phelan, baby, they've made it all the way through.
They've done the impossible, but there's one step further to go. It's so hypey. It already is. That's the thing, is I'm saying it'd be hypey, crazy, it'd be insane. We've already had that for the past 2 days. This was our 7th place team. They just made it out of relegation to the tiebreaker, and then they've just beaten everyone.
Yeah, literally had a tiebreaker to stop them falling out of the league entirely. And now they've climbed all the way through the Gauntlet, through best of threes, and now up against Excel, they really are going to have their work cut out. But we want to know who you guys at home are going to be rooting for here today as we get involved in social media. Make sure you're tweeting at us using the hashtag UKLC, and make sure you're giving us an at LVPUKLOL as well. But make sure you get involved in all of the social media. But also, if you've been missing any of the action, if you've missed the Gauntlet so far, it's been crazy best of 3 action the whole time. We had an insane series yesterday between Phelan and Eminem. You can find all of the VODs available on LVP UK LOL on YouTube as well.
Absolutely, and it makes it really difficult to predict, because Eminem, remember, they took down XL in week 7. And it made people think that this could have been a close series if it'd been Eminem who'd gone up, but they dropped down a Phelan. A lot of people are still saying, XL are going to smash them, XL are going to stomp them, but I'm going to be honest, you guys said that 3 best of 3s ago.
People said that about Enclave.
Yeah.
People said that about Demise. People said that about Diabolus. People said that about Eminem. We're running out of teams for people to say that about.
Yeah, and it's just a thing that's like, could they actually do it? I'm a believer. I think they could.
I don't know, man. There's still a long way to go. This is going to be a big best of 3 for Phelan. This is absolutely kind of a culmination of all the work that they've been putting in clearly over the last couple of weeks. We'll find out if it's all going to come to fruition, but what they're fighting for. You saw the trophy just a few minutes ago. We saw the video of the making of that, but they have to go and fight for that one first. Fnatic Rising have already qualified. We already have sold out all of our tickets. We're going to Twickenham for our grand finals. Even though the tickets are sold out, you can still watch all the action. The stream, you can see there, the event will start at 1 p.m., but the stream itself will start at 3 p.m. British summertime, and it'll be on this channel. So make sure you're keeping your eyes peeled. Make sure you're watching out, because that is going to be one heck of a final. No matter who goes up against Fnatic Rising, they're going to be a worthy opponent.
Absolutely will be. And the thing is, it could be the two behemoths off the UK scene, Fnatic and XL, fighting against each other, or it could be the underdogs in Phelan.
That would be crazy.
That'd be insane.
It would be so good if we saw that. And I mean, one of those underdogs that you're talking about specifically, I mean, over the course of the last 4 best of 3s, we've had a lot of awesome play coming out from the likes of Phelan. We've had multiple MVPs, but one of the unsung heroes is absolutely going to be Wisdom coming in, because, you know, his support play, not only has he been drawing bans every single series, but he has been making plays. His Volibear, his Shen have been insane throughout this weekend.
Absolutely, and those are just the stats from yesterday, not from the whole of the Gauntlet. 250 awards plays, getting the vision down. The thing is, he does so much for his team. We had an interview with Soft yesterday. He was saying how Wisdom helped them as the rookies, because obviously it's debut split for Chimera and Bear Tree in the UK scene. Soft, it's his second split, but still really inexperienced compared to their bot lane, but Wisdom and Achu helping them out with regards to that. But also, he's doing the shot calling and the playmaking. And the champion pool's been so diverse. We've seen the Frostfang, Halo Blades, Pantheon, which I was less than convinced on, but the Volibear, that's been hypey.
Yeah, he's had so many awesome plays and so many great plays on the Shen as well. I think the Shen has been his highlight so far alongside that Volibear. I think it's just been making some crazy things happen. But let's have a bit of a reminder of how we've got to this point, how Phelan have made it this entire way through. They started off up against Enclave. All 3 of the talent on this show predicting that they would fall to Enclave. But they didn't just let it end there. 2-0 Enclave, 2-0 against Diabolus, 2-0 against Demise, 2-1 against M&M in an absolutely stonker of a series.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
What's the pattern? Talk to me.
So it was
the numbers
2-0, 2-0, 2-0. It's going to be 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. Phelan will win the grand final. I've seen it.
Damn, well, that's a bold prediction right there. We'll see if that's going to come to pass. I mean, Phelan, like, I don't want to get too excited, because obviously,
nope, stop
the
talking.
Gauntlet
I
run,
want to get excited.
The Gauntlet run has been amazing, but let's not underestimate XL coming into this one, right? XL, this is a tremendous team. 3 of the players have played in the LCS/LEC at some point in their careers. Like, there is some serious talent.
Actually, 4 of them have. Sendo has played 2 games for G2, and he has the highest win rate out of the whole of the XL roster in the LEC.
Well, fair enough then. I can't argue with statistics like that. 100%, baby.
Numbers don't lie.
But importantly, they are an absolute powerhouse. And, you know, coming into the entire season, people were expecting the final to be XL versus Fnatic Rising. I think a lot of people are still expecting that, and it's down to Phelan to upset the apple cart. But before we jump too far into that conversation, we have to talk predictions here. Coming into today, I'm afraid I'm the only one that still believes. I've called the Phelan 2-1.
I mean, technically, but you've got to remember that Phelan management and players have specifically asked me not to predict Phelan, because every time I predict Phelan, they lose. And every time I predict against Phelan, they win. And you might be thinking, oh yeah, sure, but I predicted against Phelan for the whole playoffs, and here we are. If they win this series, that's confirmation the case is real.
What you're saying is it's all because of you.
Yes.
Nice. I
Absolutely.
like it. It was the same when he was a player as well. And we've also got Hitbrain's prediction down there as well. He's predicting 2-0 for XL. So Hitbrain, little faith. You were 2-1 XL, right?
Yeah.
And I'm 2-1 Phelan. We'll see who's going to be able to get those prediction points. But it's about time that we kick things off here. It's about time we jump into this series. XL up against Phelan. XL, absolutely the favorites. Absolutely a behemoth coming into this one. Phelan looking to keep the Gauntlet dream alive.
Yeah, I'd say on paper, everyone's going to favor XL. It's a given, and they should do. Their split's been very strong. They have a strong roster, which we are going to have a little bit of a look at now. So first up, I believe we have XL.
Let's take a look. Sendo up in the top lane, Taxa in the jungle, Exile mid, Hjarnan and Kasing down in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and on the other side, you've seen them plenty of times this week. It's Bear Tree in the top lane, Soft in the jungle, Chimera mid, a Chu AD carry and Wisdom support. That is Phelan. And I've got to say is that XL, I think Sendo's had a great split. But I think for the rest of them, this is not them playing at their best. The play we've seen from them this split has not been their peak at League of Legends. I think Exile's definitely had better performances. Kasing, absolutely. Hjarnan as well. They've had such storied careers. You cannot honestly say that the performance this split, coming second to Fnatic, represents that.
No,
and that's where my
not.
argument for Phelan comes in. Because this looks like the best play we've ever seen out of them. So yes, on paper, XL are the favorites. But looking at current form, Phelan are looking good.
Well, you can say that, but the opposite side of that coin is coming into the Gauntlet. Phelan have absolutely leveled up. There's no reason why XL wouldn't have done the same. They've had plenty of opportunity to watch Phelan over the last 2 days. They've seen everything Phelan has done, and Phelan have been pulling out all of the stops to get to this stage. And clearly, they've done their preparation because Tristana is going to be the first ban.
Yeah, big pick for Exile. Constantly looks for all-ins in the mid lane. It mostly was picked up as a counter to Zay and Corki. But I feel like a lot of Chimera's champion pool might struggle against that. Taken instantly off the cards, so is the LeBlanc, which is something Chimera was happy to play, not just in general, but also it was his go-to pick against the LeBlanc. I mean, sorry, not against LeBlanc, against the Aurelia was his LeBlanc, so that's not off the cards. We could set up XL for a Aurelia pick on their rotation.
And it's worth mentioning Cassiopeia here as well, because that's been one of the picks we've seen Chimera playing into the Aurelia. We've seen him playing in general anyway. But it's also something we've seen Sendo play a lot going down into the bottom lane. So that could be a pretty highly contested pick in this series.
I honestly would not be super surprised to see a first pick Cassiopeia, because I feel like if you don't take it for Phelan, XL will take it on that rotation. And if they do take something like Aurelia and LeBlanc and Cassiopeia off the table, we saw Chimera Zed into the Aurelia of Chibs, and it just felt like he couldn't make as much impact when you're dealing with something, you know, you have that W which can reduce all that physical damage.
Yeah.
The all-in pressure just wasn't really there.
All right, well, Olaf going to be taken away from Soft here with XL's ban and Akali taken off the board by Phelan. Now we'll see what their third ban is going to be moving forward in this draft. And it's Heimerdinger, the respect ban towards Hjarnan.
I'm interested to see that one, because I feel like it might be... The concern is that XL ban Ziggs here. I feel like Ziggs and the Heimer is actually a really good matchup for Ziggs. You can really easily just kill the turrets with the AoE. So I understand that with regards that if Phelan left the Heimer open and XL ban the Ziggs here, they would be left in a really difficult position to try and deal with that. And we actually see the Zed coming out, so targeting Chimera's champion pool very strongly. And the big thing here is that Zed and LeBlanc are very mobile. So it suggests to me that maybe Exile's looking for something that wants to close the gap on him, and he doesn't want him to be able to get away, but
yeah, there's
that might stop it.
That is going to shut that down. And immediately, I mean, we can sort of assume that's going towards Chimera. It could be Flex, maybe a Chu could pick that up, but it kind of says a lot that two of these bans have gone towards that mid lane. One of the bans went towards the jungle, clearly focusing on that mid-jungle duo right there. Whereas on the other side, Phelan focusing on the mid lane and down at the bottom lane, so kind of focusing on different parts of the map.
Oh, and actually seeing the Pantheon picked up by XL, so only Phelan really had this pick prepared. XL saying, no, we can go toe-to-toe. It's been a massive pick for Battery. Wisdom even played it one game, but wasn't that great, especially with his build. But being picked up may well go top, could even go mid or support. And then we see this Silas being hovered right now. This could still be, it was played by Taxa, but it can go in the solo lanes as well.
Yeah, it certainly can. And Silas is an interesting one because we've really not seen Silas in the Gauntlet so far. It's interesting because he is an incredibly strong champion still. We've seen it a lot in professional play, but as of the Gauntlet in the UKLC, it's not been something that these teams have been willing to pick up.
Yeah, slight nerf to his wave clear in the jungle. Obviously, he now does reduce damage to the camps with his chain lash as well. So maybe a reason there hasn't been as much priority. But Tax has had great games in him. But instantly feeling they take the Xayah. They now have this next pick. The options are you could pick a jungler to secure a good matchup for Soft, or you could just get a support for Wisdom, who's had so much success. Battery, he knows he may well have to go against that Pantheon that's had so much success on, and he's looking towards the Mordekaiser. But that Pantheon could still be a flex.
It could. But we've seen that top lane matchup during this Gauntlet. We saw Bear Tree actually losing out that matchup as the Pantheon up against Mordekaiser, if I remember correctly.
feel like Battery's the only one who's played Mord, if I'm correct. I think
Maybe
the biggest one that went unfortunate for me was when Battery played the Mordekaiser into the Fiora in the top lane. So I feel like they've locked in the Syndra now. You want to ban away things that might cause an issue in the top lane because yes, that Pantheon likely to be top, could still be flex support. XL locking the Syndra. A lot of buffs on this patch, a ton of damage, and a similar range to that Cassiopeia. And shit, Cassiopeia scales really well, but already XL are looking to do what they do best and establish a strong early foothold because their mid jungle has a ton of burst, ton of utility.
Yeah.
Their top lane or their support has global presence. A lot of strong picks coming out. And we see XL respect banning that Volibear away from Wisdom. Now with a feeling, I wouldn't be too surprised to see them play some respect either to Shannon in the bot lane or potentially, if you're concerned that is a flex Pantheon, the Fiora was a massive problem when Only Angel took it upon himself.
That's very true. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Shen banned away here from XL as well. If you want to target Wisdom, realistically, the Shen is absolutely the ban that you want to take off. We were talking about it earlier already. His Volibear and his Shen, two of his absolute highlight picks. And suddenly Wisdom is finding himself in a position where he might actually have to play a meta support champion.
He might actually have to play
The darkest timeline.
Zyra Khan.
What?
When every other team was like, Zyra Khan, let's go. And he's been so averse to it. There is still the Pike available, which we saw
That's true.
banned very heavily.
Vayne banned away from Hyanon as well. Could we see the Jhin?
You say against Shannon, but I feel like if you had to play Mordekaiser into a Vayne top, that is probably
That's
the
true.
worst matchup you could ever put yourself in, ever. So yes, technically away from Hyanon, but I feel like it might be a bit of respect to what could go in the top lane. And Hyanon gonna lock in that Kai'Sa. So a lot of scaling.
Yep.
We saw that happen in the game with the Chu yesterday. That was in his hands. And now it's the reverse matchup. He was so aggressive against Yusa, looking to find these engages. And now it's the reverse for him against Shannon, the most experienced player we have in the UK right now. And feeling hovering that Rakan, we might actually see them finally play Zyra Khan after all this time.
Can it be possibly seen Phelan Gaming playing a meta bot lane? Yeah, it's going to be like Mordekaiser's support and Rakan goes top now or something crazy like that. That honestly wouldn't surprise me at this stage with how Phelan have been playing, but I'm excited to see Hyanon on this Kai'Sa as well. I mean, I'm curious to see how a Chu is going to do up against the Kai'Sa because he played so well against Yusa yesterday. Yusa on the Ashe was just getting deleted by Hyanon every single fight.
Interesting.
Soft, going for the Kha'Zix again.
Yeah, I felt like maybe the Skarner would be an option, but one of the concerns is Skarner's ult is so powerful, you do just hand that over to Silas.
Yeah.
I feel like the ult from Kha'Zix isn't the most impactful thing about him. Yes, you'll hand it over to Taxa, not a huge deal. He's going with, again, it's a scaling pick, but you can also make a massive amount of impact. And if he finds Sean alone, if he dives in and looks for something, he can shut down. And I called it. I said it was a potential thing. I said maybe they should have banned away that Fiora. The Pantheon goes to support. The Fiora's in the top lane, and we saw Only Angel destroy that matchup yesterday.
Yeah. Battery is going to be quaking in his boots right now because that was not a fun matchup for him at all. He was just trying to hold on underneath those towers, just clear out the minion waves. It was definitely a difficult one, and Sendo certainly going to be a capable top player. We know he can play that Fiora to great effect, but looking at these compositions overall then, how are you expecting the pace of this game to be playing out?
I mean, I feel like there's a really powerful bot lane for Phelan, but the mid jungle is the thing I'm really scared of for XL. That Syndra has so much power early. You have the Pantheon as well. Very easy setup just to pin people down. I want to see Kising making the use of that shield vault, moving around the map with Taxis, setting up plays. And then as you get late in the game, yes, the Syndra is not going to offer as much as the Cassiopeia, but you have that Fiora for the split push. That is what you look to make use of in the side lane. And realistically, Battery doesn't have an answer to that when the game goes later and later. However, Phelan still have a hope. They have that Cassiopeia, they have that Kha'Zix, they have that Xayah. A lot of scaling aspects there. Their team fighting will be stellar. It's just about making sure they can force one without the likes of Sendo just running away with the base.
Yeah, absolutely. And things like the Kha'Zix as well, things like the Cassiopeia, you can rush down objectives very, very quickly. A lot of single target damage there. And that's been something we've been talking about all week long with Phelan. They love these neutral objectives.
And a big thing with the Mordekaiser as well, you can guarantee your smite whenever you go for a Baron, because all Mordekaiser has to do is send the enemy jungler to the death realm, and the other team has no smite. It's such an easy setup. So if Phelan do manage to get a lead, likely off their bot lane's power and maybe some good ganks from Soft, they could run away with this game. Because if they set up an objective, they have the damage, they can ensure Taxa can't steal it, it would be really hard to deal with.
Yeah, we'll have to see. And honestly, one of my big question marks for Phelan coming into this game is going to be Wisdom. Not necessarily because of his play in the previous games, but because he's been focused so hard in this draft, he's not actually on one of these more obscure picks. And it's easier to play against meta champions because XL will have practiced playing against Zaya Rakan so many times before.
I think the big issue as well is the burden is really on him because I've said they want to force fights, you know. XL are happy with their Fiora in the side lane. You need the force to come out from Phelan, and the big engage from them is this Rakan. And the other issue with that is Rakan is far squishier than the likes of a Volibear. You're going up against a Pantheon, who has a point-and-click stun. You're going against a Syndra, who can press R on you and just delete you. That's where the issue comes in, because if Wisdom is slightly slow in his engage, it doesn't manage to lock up the right targets with the initiation, he will die. And as soon as he goes down, the team fight's going to be in a dire position, and you know that Sendo is just going to be knocking away at the towers, looking for the base of Phelan. That's why this is so crucial to have Wisdom making the big plays for his team and potentially finding flanks as well. If you come straight on to that team, I just feel like you're going to struggle. But if you find an opportunity to flank, you lock up the Syndra so she can't use that ult on you, maybe it goes right for them.
I'm curious about the mid lane as well because we've got Chimera here going up against Exile. Now, Exile, ton of experience on this player, right? Unicorns of Love back in the EULCS for a very long time. Extensive amount of experience. Going up against Chimera, who has had some exceptional games across the Gauntlet, but he's also had games where he was the one falling behind in lane. That could be an opportunity for XL to find a weakness here in the Phelan lineup.
Yeah, definitely could, and I think this matchup as well, you have the priority with the Syndra, you're going to be able to shove in, you're going to be able to rotate. That's the advantage there.
It certainly is, but it's about time that we finish this gauntlet off. The final best of 3. Phelan have gone the entire way so far, but their hardest opponent yet stands before them. Phelan going to be over on our blue side, with XL going to be over on the red side, and already XL making some moves. At level 1 here, Taxa going to be moving down to the bottom side, and Achu's been spotted out, but he's going to run into the open arms of Taxa. It's all gone wrong right off the bat. First blood for Kasing.
One saving grace, he didn't be in summoners, and the majority of that gold went to Kasing. Yes, there's a 600 gold lead right now, but it's not going to make massive difference if that gold is on the Pantheon compared to someone else.
And XL come into this series showing that they will not sit idly by and let Phelan scale. Wisdom now the target as he gets stunned up and locked down. Ignite taken away. But he'll make it to his turret in the end. XL, they are making moves.
That's just disrespectful from Wisdom. I mean, he knows they were invading his jungle. He knows it in the area. He doesn't even put a ward over a wall. He just sits there, gets caught out. Once again, great play coming out from Kasing to set that up. And now Sendo, he's going to try and cause some disruption here. I don't think there's much chance of him stopping that, but XL very aware of what's happening in their side of the jungle.
XL very aware of everything in this game so far. They're the first ones to start off with a kill. And look at this. Sendo so aggressive towards that top side. Betri will proc his passive, and that's the end of the trade as they go back onto lane. Achu actually manages to get that minion with the deadly plumage. But Hyanan, look at this positioning, already trying to zone out the players from Phelan.
That's the thing, in normal circumstances, you expect the level 1 off the Zaya Rakan to be stronger. But because Wisdom got chunked out so heavily, he's flashless, he's on the back foot, and Kasing and Hyanan got to lane first, they have control.
And just look at the confidence from XL. This is one of the teams that we're expecting to go to the final. Absolutely the favorite here. But Taxa has been found out here. Wisdom looking for the knockup. Won't quite get it. Ignite taken away. Taxa flashes out though, and there's a stun onto Achu. This could be a second death of the game. Kasing will be able to get the Comet Spear ready. No, it's going to be Aegis Assault. Doesn't quite have the damage. And everyone from XL getting so low. Taxa's here. Kasing's here. Hyanan the healthiest as Kasing takes a little bit of a tap, but they're going to walk away.
Yeah, we're so close. Achu fortunately has TP, but he missed so many minions, so much CS. And you can see across the board, XL is looking to get so much work done in this early game. And it's what we've seen from them throughout the split. They've looked to gain advantages early. Their mid lane and bot lane already looking to get a massive lead in game 1 of this best of 3.
Such a confident performance so far from XL. going for these plays, knowing that they don't have to sit on the back foot here. They don't have to fear Phelan. They know that they have an advantage, and they want to make sure that they're capitalizing on that. However, that last dive, it was on a knife's edge. That could have gone very badly for them. Betri and Sendo just consistently trading in this top lane, but Sendo is getting the best of him. Oh, Tax has come back down to the bottom lane, though, and Achu will be the target. Once again, the knockups are there. Kasing not quite in range of the shield vault and can't join in.
That was so close. A little bit closer, and Kasing would have got the stun. Achu would have gone down again. He's not having a fun time in this lane, and Taxi essentially set up his tent in the bot side. This is what happens when you split the map. You can see that Soft has farmed the red side jungle with XL, and then also his blue side. But
Betri's actually in serious trouble right now. Sendo wants to make his mark on this top lane, looking for the vital, but won't quite be able to grab it.
Betri does just walk off, but he's really struggling in this matchup. Even against Only Angel, yes, he got outscaled, but in the early levels, he was doing fine. Here, Sendo is not giving him a moment to breathe.
And let's take a look towards that mid lane as well. The CS lead very heavy in favor of XL, but now another 3-man fight in favor of XL. Achu's ignited, and he drops. Hjarnan finds a kill.
I've got to say, it's just disrespectful from the Phelan bot lane. You know that Taxa is camping you. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. They've fallen for it again. They get the gank, but now Soft might look for Taxa here. TB actually coming in from Exile. This is just to secure this pink ward. A very aggressive TP, and it means that Soft couldn't look for an all in there.
Yeah, well, I mean, Exile had gone back to base as well, so I think kind of duos up. He's able to get back into lane. I think he maybe wanted to TP in anyway, but Taxa's now going to get engaged on. Chimera is here for damage, but they really can't follow up on that one.
Absolutely can't. They also steal away those Raptors, so good move to accrue a little bit more in terms of advantages for the side of XL. And already they've put the pedal to the metal with their almost 2,000 gold lead at 5 minutes, and this is typical XL. It's what we expect from them. We had hopes that Phelan maybe would be able to counteract this, but so far it's not looking good.
It's really not, especially when you look towards those CS numbers. Hjarnan already almost has 1,000 gold lead on Achu. That is an insane way to start this game off.
And we saw what happened when there was a gold lead between a Kai'Sa and a Xayah in the game yesterday. Game 3, M&M vs Phelan. The Kai'Sa just took over the game.
Soft has now made his way down towards this bottom side of the map. He's not been spotted out just yet. This minion wave will slowly but surely start to push in towards Phelan.
And I just love the respect coming out from the XL bot lane. They know that Taxa was on the top side. They know that they no longer have the support of the jungler, so they instead play it so much more safer. If it was a 2v2, they could have found the all in there. They could have killed the Chu again, but they respect the fact that Soft could turn up, and so they don't go for the play. Now, Hjarnan, he's recalled. He has a BF sword, has a long sword on top of that. So much
and
AD.
Immediately they want to use this power spike. Wisdom on the front line. The plasma stacking up, but he'll jump out with the battle dance. Phelan surviving at least. Wisdom has his flash available, but Achu has no summoners.
Yeah, surviving, but definitely losing that trade pretty heavily. And Taxa now back bot lane. They're going to apply the pressure again. Exile level 6. He's starting to roam down.
No, this is not looking good for Phelan. Wisdom and Achu, they've been highlight players for Phelan, but this is not their game right now. Kasing immediately goes in, blocking so much damage, and the whole team collapses. Kasing walks away after beautifully tanking the turret.
And it's so easy to pull off these dives with the Pantheon. Easy setup with the stun, no way to outplay that or dodge it, and then he can use his Aegis Assault to block tower shots. Really strong performance coming out from XL, and they're already putting Phelan to the test in this early game.
They are nearly 3,000 gold ahead at just 7 minutes into this one. XL are telling Phelan that playtime is over. There's a reason that in the UK scene there has been a top 2 that have won every single tower, and XL are showing that it was not just a fluke.
And I had hope after the game against M&M, but XL really showing that they have a dominant early game that will not be stopped by any team short of Fnatic Rising. But it's definitely not over yet. There's still a lot of scaling aspects to Phelan's composition. Early game's been rough, especially for the bot lane, but they definitely can bring this back. Kasing looking to establish control of this dragon. It is a cloud, not the highest priority. The big thing for Phelan is they've had so much control of these dragons overall in their series previous to this. Even the fact that they lost a game against M&M, gave up a few dragons there. They've had about 65% of the total dragons. Just so much control from this bot lane. And this is why this game has taken a very different turn. Because their bot lane is struggling so hard. And Soft, he's not really in a position to help them. He's level 5 as a Kha'Zix. Not the most impactful time for that champion. And you can see Taxi is able to do so much more for his team.
Bertree trying to do his best up in this top lane. He is down in CS, but trying to get the harass down onto Sendo while he knows that the jungler's not on that side of the map. Playing as aggressively as he can. Because, you know, when the pressure is so heavily on this bottom side for Phelan, we have to see an answer towards that top side from Bertree as well.
Yeah, it just hasn't been able to come to fruition. He's down in CS in the matchup. And this is a matchup that he'll get outscaled in massively. Soft now hit level 6. Potentially for looking something on this play, but you can see the jungle mid duo coming down. Tax in exile.
No. You can see Doom written all over their faces. Soft will be the target, but actually jumps out very cleanly. Wisdom the target next and immediately just dropped. Soft is stunned and taken down as well. It's 2 more for Hjarnan, and they've got a turret in their sights.
I don't know why they went for the play. Wisdom ran into them. There's no way
Chu,
you survive.
what are you doing? Why are you sticking around here, Chu? Does manage to survive a little bit, gets a root down, but there's a Comet Spear from Kasing, and it's going to be another one going the way of Kai'Sa.
And XL making it look easy. They destroy Phelan, and I've got to ask, why are you looking to make plays around your bot lane? Why did Soft go for the aggressive play from that brush? He had the vision advantage. He saw them coming. He could have just ran away, but instead, they call the team to go in, and they lose heavily. 8-0, 6k gold in 10 minutes. It's disastrous.
And the most difficult thing about all of this is that we'll be able to jump back into the game again. Here we go. This is our replay of that action.
Yeah, so we'll see a Chu under the tower. Not level 6, so he actually goes for the kills on the minion. Hits level 6, manages to use his ult to buy time, but it's not enough. And meanwhile, Chimera, 2v1 just outside the tower. Does end up going down in the end. There's just nothing they can do.
Achu there trying to make a play with his ultimate, trying to get the root underneath the tower, but Exile just outside of tower range. Now, Soft does manage to get a Rift Herald, so we have one minor positive in favor of Phelan. We can finally say something positive about Phelan. They have a Rift Herald. But what does it matter when you are 6,000 gold down at 11 minutes? This is just such a tumultuous lead in favor of Exile.
Absolutely is, and so many solo plays going to Hjarnan. He's got almost double the gold of a Chu. Such a rough position to be in.
And one of the most difficult things... Oh, here we go. Actually, Sendo wants to make a play happen here. He's looking for the 1 versus 1 ultimate. Comes on in and almost immediately procs all 4 of the vitals. Can't quite get the last one against the wall here. The heal does not come out, and Sendo's actually getting low. Will get the parry. Flash out from Bertree in the end.
That was so close. So Soft is actually going to come over and look for this. Is Sendo going to look to come back in? If he does, he could end up going down to the jungler. But for now, XL going to make some plays in the cross map. They pick up the first Cloud Dragon. Next will be another. Reptile's going to go down top. Sendo, you have to back off here, and you have no one on this side of the map to assist. But in return, XL already picking up that bot lane tower. Jordan's so strong right now.
Massive, massive plays coming out from XL around the map here. And everybody's starting to rotate up towards this top side. Sendo has teleported in. Chimera is here in Tribrush. We've got Wisdom arriving as well. But everyone from XL starting to move on in as Kasing and Hjarnan are here. Look at this though. They've caught him. He's grounded, and that's a kill going the way of Chimera. Wisdom looking for this top tower.
A good positive finally on the board for Phelan. Not sure they can do much more here because Hjarnan is so strong. They back away, respecting the pressure. And actually, I think looking to catch them out, but Phelan actually still hanging around. They might look for something here.
This is 2 versus 4 right now. The jungler is nowhere near. Charmed onto Kasing, but he's going to be the first one to go down. It's all gone wrong as Hjarnan just has so much damage.
And the extra attack speed he has means his supercharge gives him so much movement speed. He easily just outpaced Wisdom. And honestly, that was such a telegraph play. You could see him coming from a mile off. Easy dodge for Shannon. He doesn't get charmed up.
Oh, Soph is the next target. Look at that. Kathy and Ray not quite enough.
Oh.
Void Seeker will not stop the recall. I think he was hoping to get it after the recall.
Hey, Pantheon's ulting
Here
in.
we go. Kasing looking for a fight. He's not quite going to be able to find it.
This has been
Yeah, I mean,
so one-sided.
Here's the terrifying thing. This is how Phelan have been winning their games. These early game plays, making things happen, finding dragons, finding objectives.
But not quite like this. There
Not
is
quite to this level.
Nothing comparable to XL's early game. We've seen them go head-to-head so many times with Fnatic, and even then, XL were the dominant force in the early game. The question is, can Phelan hold on and get to the point where they can go toe-to-toe? Looking at the score, looking at the gold right now, I'm leaning towards a no, but they have to give a shot. Look at that goal difference in the bot lane.
Look at every lane
But
as
just
well.
it's
Four and a
double.
half, almost 5,000
It's
gold
more
lead.
than double. You can't win. You cannot win a fight against Shannon when he's so strong. Phelan just have to go into damage control mode, give up that mid lane tower, and just try and hold on from there on out. They cannot fight at this point in the game. There is no chance, no hope. They need to buy time because 9k gold lead at 14 minutes is insurmountable. A 9k gold lead at 35 minutes is a different story. They need a lot of time for their Cassiopeia to get going and for the gold lead to become less relevant.
Well, there are 3 people towards the bottom side right now in favor of Phelan.
Look at the item differences.
It's insane.
There's a Stormrazor Ginsu's on Shannon. There's not even a BF sword from a Chu. He hasn't even got a BF sword to build his Essence Reaver with. It's insane.
It's absolutely brutal so far. We've seen Phelan win from behind before, but not to a lead like this. Not to a 10,000 gold lead at 15 minutes. And we'll see what they have left. Oh, a Chu. Oh, he's found out in the jungle. Well, that's a nice easy pickup for XL, and it might just lead to a tier 2 tower here. Wisdom sticking around, but I'm not sure that that's wise, my friend. Everybody going to be here. Charm comes on through. There's the miasma as well. Phelan trying to make something happen, but Taxa's invincible. Will finally go down as Shannon will be focused. There's a huge shutdown for Bear Tree, but can he walk away? Exile says no as he finishes yet another kill. Chimera auto down, and it's a double.
And they managed to win despite the fact that Phelan shut down Shannon. They have 2 members still alive, and Sendo didn't even need to join the fight. It was a sign of life from Phelan. They went for the fight, but they paid for it with their lives.
And that is going to be 2 tier 2s going down as well. We've got Sendo was in the top lane the entire time. This was 4 versus 4.
Yeah, and just look at Exile. He gets a massive stun off here. Instantly kills Wisdom, ults Chimera, and he's just constantly putting out damage. Syndra at level 11, you have the max Q for the extra bonus damage. You have that level 2 ult. It's just so much damage going down onto every member. Every single Q on a short cooldown and pumping out so much damage.
And just look at those score lines on the side of XL. Oh, Sendo has just been playing, top lane's an island. Very much so in this game, 0-1-1. But everybody else, 10 assists for Taxa. And they want some more right now as Kasing will get the shield vault to stun a Chu. Aegis Assault does a bit of damage, but they can't quite follow up onto the Xayah just yet. But
yeah,
again,
not wanting to invest when she still has a flash available would be a bit of an overstep. Kasing ends up burning his flash, but he's so confident right now. And the thing is, the Pantheon is so hard to kill. You have the Aegis Assault, makes you invulnerable from a certain direction for a second and a half. 2.5 seconds if you have that passive stacked.
yeah. And now one of the most difficult things, if a fight happens within the next minute or so, Featherstorm is going to be on cooldown. It's such an incredibly crucial ability for Xayah, just keeping you alive during these fights.
When is a Chu going to get an item?
Let us know. Hashtag UKLC.
Is Shannon, I mean, maybe Shannon gets his 3rd item before Chu gets his 1st at this rate.
He's gone for the cull as well. Just, accepting the fact that he's not going to be able to do much in the early game, but at the same time, it's like, are you even going to be able to finish a cull before this game ends? How much does a cull actually do for you? I
think it's the right call. It's like buying a Dark Seal at this point for the side of Phelan. It's one of those things where the game seems pretty lost anyway. You might as well go for the gamble, all or nothing. Yep, nope. Kyanan, 3 items completed. Achu still yet to complete 1. That is... I mean, it's not strictly any carry difference, because I'm going to be honest, Taxa and Kasing set him up so well, but that is a rough position to be in. It's just at a situation where Kyanan will do so much more damage on a massive scale, and Achu has picked up that Essence Reaver finally. It's just not comparable.
Yeah, and the difficult thing is, I feel like Phelan just didn't pick any winning lane matchups. I mean, obviously, bot lane. Oh, here we go. Chimera wants to play. Does get a good stun onto Sendu. The grounding does so much in the short term. Is it going to win in the long term? Sendu with Chimera turns it around. Fighting the top lane in the meantime as Wisdom drops.
Yeah, catch out onto Wisdom. Doesn't even get a chance to use the quickness.
Oh, Exile does so much damage. Achu is not even allowed to farm on the turret. Oh,
that
Taxa.
was...
Yeah, I mean...
That was a lot of burst.
That's Syndra, baby. Here we go. Taxa has that Death Realm as well. He can take anybody he wants into a 1 versus 1. Or just remove them from the fight. I wouldn't be surprised to see him just drop that onto Wisdom or someone. Just remove that CC.
That's the thing. It actually counteracts the engage. If you ult Wisdom as he's coming in, he can't CC the team of XL. But to be honest, I feel like you don't really need that at this point. You can just blow him up in a couple of hits. 0-11-2. That's a bot lane for Phelan. Two of the standout performers for the split and in this gauntlet. It's been annihilated.
Well, I'm still on track for my predictions so far. Predicted 2-1 for Phelan. There's still a chance, man.
It's still, I mean, it could still, theoretically, it's a mathematical possibility. It could still be a 2-0 for Phelan at this point.
That's
but
true.
I don't think I would take a bet on that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it even can be, you know. There would need to be, like, at this point, the game is out of the hands of Phelan. This is down to XL.
I've seen XL throw a 12k goldie before, but they are looking for a play here.
Achu, once again, just caught out alone, will be dropped. And Kasing just hey, Wisdom tried to play support Pantheon. It didn't work out. Kasing showing him exactly how it's done this game.
There was a positive there, though. Kyanan only got 140 gold from killing Achu. It's barely worth it at this point.
He's going to be worth less than a counter minion in a few minutes' time.
And that's the thing, is that you just keep throwing yourself at XL until something sticks. You have...
So you're saying he should play the proxy Xayah strategy?
XL's worth 1,000 gold, Achu's worth 140. All you have to do is kill XL for every 7 times Achu dies, and it pays off.
I'm not sure that there's enough time in this game for another 7 deaths here, but okay, maybe that's the strat they're going for. Beartree, though, he's been found in a 1v1. The duelist herself wants this one. Sendu should be able to find it. Good parry keeps him alive. Beartree just gets away with things.
Achu just does 0 damage.
Not quite 0, but not much either. 417. Look at the gold difference. 12,000. 6 towers to 1. And well, you can't argue with the fact that the Drake RNG still favoring Phelan, even when they're behind. At least it's 2 clouds.
Absolutely. Okay, Sendu's looking for something here.
Yeah, and this, I mean, I'd be very surprised if he can't kill Achu. Look at that damage. Oh, I say that! Achu! One more auto would have done it.
Oh, we're so close. It didn't have the Featherstorm available. Could have actually turned that one around. And now, XL looking to start the Baron. Phelan going to try to approach. 2 for 1.
I think Kyanan actually got the blue buff there. Beartree coming in to try and contest. Soft, we've seen great steals from him in the past. Beartree going to be the first one to drop here. Baron down to 4,000. 3.5 now. Soft finding a way around. Exile's ready with the scat of the week. Achu frontlining here as the Xayah. Will get a massive root, but that's nowhere near enough.
Well, at least they're low HP now. You know, they didn't lose much. Achu's only worth 140 gold, remember? They're actually going to recall now.
Baron. They actually stopped the Baron.
Yeah, and XL, they know the game is completely in their control. They do not want to risk starting a Baron on that HP. So, objective completed by Phelan, I guess. Let's have a little replay. Obviously, the damage is pretty huge coming out from XL. And then Beartree comes in. He ults Kasing, thinking that Kasing's not going to be able to kill him. But Kasing has quite a bit of damage. He's got a Ghost Blade already. He's Is he in? Oh, Baron. Yeah. Goodbye.
All right, well, during the replay, literally took him, what, 10 seconds? XL just annihilate the Baron. Ocean Drake up for grabs, middle inhib's already down. Honestly, XL, they have a smorgasbord of objectives available to them. They could go for the dragon, they could go for top, they could go for bot, or they could literally just go down mid with super minions and just try and force the end. I think any of the options will work.
I don't think you're wrong. I think they're probably going to play the slower way. They don't want to risk a throw because, like I said, they've thrown from 12,000 gold leads before. They'll just play it slow because this game is theirs to lose.
And now, it feels like there should be a funeral march playing during the rest of this game because honestly, I don't even know how XL could throw this. With a lead like this, you've got multiple bounties at least, but even if every single one of those bounties was picked up, that's barely any of the gold lead. It wouldn't even catch up barely.
It would get them to a 10k deficit from a 14k deficit. It would give a lot of experience as a big thing, but right now, they need a hell of a lot more than that to keep up with XL, and they're playing it slow. They don't want to take the risks. Kissing actually pushing in the mid lane because he has that ult to join them. Sendo on the top side. Looks like they might make a play from soon, but Wisdom dashes
away. Yeah, Hyana's killer instinct there, but not quite enough. And Achu has to use the Feather Storm immediately. Blade Caller won't connect. And you say that Phelan would get a lot of experience. Right now, they're getting some experience of what it's like to play against LEC caliber players. XL are walking through this space right now. One turret goes down. Mid inhibitors respawn, but it won't be up for long. Here we go. They're actually going for an engagement. Wisdom cannot get out again. Kasing gets a stun onto Chimera. Tags are actually very low, but just jumps to the back of the fight. Chimera will drop in the end. And now Soft trying to make something happen on this Kha'Zix. He wants to clean up, but Hyanan in the meantime and Sendo just move up and take yet another inhibitor. Oh, Bear Tree's gone down. Hyanan, I mean, they're just farming. They're literally farming Phelan at this point. XL have walked into the last part of this gauntlet and dashed the dreams of Phelan right now. This is only game one in the best of three, and it already feels pretty over. XL dominate game number one. 20,000 gold lead as the Nexus falls.
Wow. I said before that game, Sean and XL Kasing, we've seen them play at tremendous levels.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen that in the UK. I think we just did. I think that was them not giving even a tiny moment for Phelan to breathe. They brutalized their bot lane, and obviously I can understand people maybe if it was other areas of the map saying, yeah, well, it is Bear Tree's first split, it is Chimera's first split, but Wisdom and Achu are an experienced bot lane, haven't played in the Challenger Series qualifiers before, with some big names. Wisdom on a team with Dan and Achu, it's not Dan and Woolite. They're experienced players, and they just made them look like amateurs in that performance. They murdered them.
They absolutely took them apart. XL looking phenomenal. And basically saying here, look, we're going to the finals. You've done your best, Phelan, but this is our show. We'll see what Phelan are going to answer back, though. Let's bear in mind, best of three, right? They can go back to the drawing board, change up the draft a little bit. And I think a lot of this goes down to Soft. We need to see something that can be more proactive in that early game.
And that's absolutely true. I also think the disrespect from Wisdom and Achu was significant. They punished them from level 1. Achu caught out in a position for no reason. Wisdom ends up staying and losing his flash, and from then on they just were on the back foot. But what I find hilarious is in the draft, you're like, oh, this Fiora could be a concern. Into the Sendo did nothing. He didn't need to. He's just chilling there farming away while his team are just stomping that bot lane again and again and again. And I'm sure a lot of bot lane mains will have enjoyed seeing Zyra Khan getting crushed so handily.
I have to say, though, that's literally Fiora's dream. If you're Sendo in that game, you don't want to have to participate. You want to be just in that side lane. You want to be just bullying Mordekaiser.
He turns at the end like 0-1-3 or something like, hey guys, I helped.
I was part of this.
Woohoo!
Tries to assassinate Achu, but didn't even finish that one off. It was just like, well, I turned up, so there we go. Either way, game one of this best of three done and dusted. Phelan back to the drawing board. We'll see if they can keep their dreams alive in game two, or if XL are just going to polish this one off in style. We'll find out in a few minutes' time, but first, let's head to a quick break.